What is up, you guys? This is MiniSuperHeroes Today. And in today's video, I'll be reviewing the 2003 LEGO Spider-Man set 4852, The Final Showdown, and this is the first installment in a series that I'm calling Toby Tuesdays. That's right, every Tuesday leading up to Spider-Man No Way Home, I'll be reviewing one of the old Tobey Maguire Spider-Man sets, so be sure to hit like and subscribe down below so you don't miss any of those, and you can check out my other ones that I've already reviewed in the playlist attached here. So with that being said, let's take a closer look at this set. And if you're a big Spider-Man fan like me, be sure to check out my music video called The Girl Next Door. It's about the old Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, and I filmed it in New York City at all the locations where they filmed Tobey's movies, so if you're a fan like me, definitely check it out. Like I said, it came out in the year 2003. Now, the story with the old Tobey Maguire Spider-Man sets is that two sets came out in the year 2002. They were studio sets, though, so not technically Spider-Man sets, but history has been kind to them, and they kind of count now. But anyways, the following year, they went back and made some extra sets from Spider-Man. Of course, that was 1 year after the first Spider-Man movie was out in theaters, so relatively rare back then to get movie sets after the movie had run its course, but all these years later, this set still holds up. Now, it only had 355 pieces, came with 4 minifigures, and retailed for $50 back in the day, but because of the minifigs, this set is probably pushing $100 now, maybe more. I actually didn't look that up before I reviewed this, but I know I paid about $100 for mine with the box here as you see it. So with that being said, let's dive in and take a closer look at everything in this set. Up first, we have the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Now, the Spider-Man figures that came from the very first movie have light blue arms and legs, whereas the Spider-Man figures from the second movie have dark blue arms and legs. Other than that, they're pretty much identical. I love the silver webbing, especially on the hip piece there. That was just so unique back in the day, and even today, it's still pretty unique compared to most Spider-Man figures. We've got a big red spider on the back, and this was a really forward-thinking figure for the time. There's just a lot of cool things on there with the reflective silver, and of course, it was our first official superhero minifigure. Pretty amazing. Then we have the iconic Green Goblin minifigure. I didn't say this in the Spider-Man segment, but these are literally two of my favorite minifigs of all time. They're just so iconic and so nostalgic to me. They're just amazing. And I realize amazing is a pun since we're talking about Spider-Man, but anyways, the Green Goblin figure is awesome. You can lift his helmet up and see Norman Osborn's face underneath, or you can put it back on and have that menacing green look with those horrible yellow eyes, to quote Aunt May. That being said, he's got gold eyes here, which look really nice. In the first version of Green Goblin from 2002, it does not have any printing on the mask, so this was a definite upgrade then, and it looks great all these years later. Leg printing was relatively rare back in the day for LEGO, so it's cool to see it here. And of course, he's got a great little glider build. It's pretty, archaic by today's standards, but I love the chrome little spears on the ends of the wings. They're tilted down, and of course, the Goblin stands right in the center there, and it's a very swooshable glider too, so it's really cool, and I do love it all these years later. Our last two minifigures are kind of the civilians. Now, the unfortunate thing is, it was missing this minifig, so I just kind of cobbled the cab driver together with pieces I have. Not really important. Then, of course, we do have Mary Jane. Now, the Mary Jane figure is really cool. I love that she's got her pajama look and the frazzled red hair. Of course, you can lift that up, and she does have another face on the other side. This is the same Mary Jane face that was used in the 2002 Spider-Man set, and I just really like it. It's not great by today's standards, but it's very representative of this era of LEGO, and I love how nostalgic it makes me feel. Now that we've got the figures out of the way, it's time to talk about the set. Guys, I literally played with this for hundreds of hours as a kid. I had so much fun swinging Spider-Man around and adding cars on there. The one downside is buying this used all these years later is I just put in the taxi from the Daily Bugle, and that means it doesn't actually fit on the bridge properly, but the taxi that did come with this actually does fit on the bridge properly. So, you know, like I said, I just kind of substituted that in. But anyways, the bridge build itself is amazing. There aren't really any crazy play features besides the cable car, which we'll take a look at in a second, but I love the fact that there's so much space up top here for Spider-Man and Mary Jane, you know, to meet, and then Spider-Man can swing down and save her, drop her off down here, then swing back up and fight the Goblin in the sky. I really love that. It's a very light build. I mean, the whole build is only 355 pieces, and it was $50 way back when. So, you know, again, I do think you actually got a lot for your money here, and I just really love this build. Let's take a closer look at some of the finer details. The columns are all identical. It's a pretty identical build and symmetrical all around, but I love the stickers on there that make them look a little bit more gritty and like a New York bridge. These pieces are giant units of pieces. They're 2x4s, but they're about 3 bricks high, so it gives you a lot of stability with the bridge here. There's a lot of clearance space underneath the bridge, as you can see. Then there's ramps that are identical on both sides and allow you to drive one car at a time. There's some sewer grate covers there. The only thing I don't really like is the fact that you can only put one car at a time on there. How many bridges in New York City have you seen that are that limited in traffic capacity? But I digress. That's, you know, not a big deal. Comes with a little web that you can put anywhere to have Spider-Man swing. Even back as a kid, it kind of bothered me that the web didn't reach the whole way across, or, you know, we didn't get 2. It's, you know, a minor nitpick, but, you know, it's a nitpick nonetheless. I would always put the Green Goblin's glider sitting on top of this little pole. That way it looked like he really was flying around. Of course, Mary Jane could be hanging out on the other side waiting for Spider-Man to save her. And it didn't come with any kids to put in the trolley cart here, but speaking of which, let's take a closer look. Even as a kid, I could appreciate how awesome this trolley car was. There's a little crank that's on both sides, so no matter what side you display or play with it from, you could do this feature. And then, of course, there's a big, like, stretchy piece here, and it's an official Lego piece that's included with the set. But when you crank it, it moves the trolley car from side to side, depending on which way you turn the crank. So I always thought that that was really cool, and I really loved that. Now, if you wanted to do like the movie and kind of have it hanging there in peril, you could just take one of these wheels and hang it off like this. And, you know, it's nice. I mean, it does fall, like I said, but it's like, you know, just like the movie where it's hanging there in peril. That's really cool. And if that's not cool enough, you can actually open it up, and you could put minifigs in there, but it didn't really come with any civilians to put in there. I don't know if that's too dark. Maybe Lego was being too cheap, but even back then, Lego was cheap with some of these things. These Technic pins go into the bridge and hold it really well, and honestly, I just love this set. I could talk about it all day, but I want to let you guys get going and maybe watch another video of mine, so let's go ahead and wrap up this review. Alright guys, well thanks for joining me for a Toby Tuesday. Like I said, don't forget to hit like and subscribe down below so you don't miss any of my other reviews. I'm doing reviews and customs here on the channel every day, but of course there will be more Toby videos on Tuesday of next week, so I'll see you guys then, if not sooner, and until next time, build on. Thanks for checking out today's video. Be sure to hit like and subscribe down below to become a member of the Mini Superheroes Today community. And hey, while you're here, maybe check out one of my other videos listed down below. Thanks for your support, and I'll catch you guys soon.